Hello buddy, it's Bendominator and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving my first impressions on Chapter 3, Season 3 of Fortnite. And there is definitely a lot to cover with this season, so before we get in the video, if you guys do enjoy it, be sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new because I make videos like this all the time, and you can also use my supported creator code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop, #ad. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. So Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 3 vibin' is here, and so far, I am definitely enjoying this season. Am I enjoying it as much as I thought I would? Not really, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily disappointed. If I'm being honest, my expectations for this season were pretty low after the last one. I don't even think that Season 2 of this chapter was that bad, but I feel like it definitely lowered my expectations for future Chapter 3 seasons, but this season has definitely raised my expectations yet again. And when I saw the theme and stuff leaked for this season, I was extremely excited for it. After I've had my hands on it and I've been playing it for a while, I will say it is really good. Not necessarily as good as I was hoping, but again, I'm not necessarily disappointed either. So let's start by talking about the map changes, because overall I think that's the best part of this season. We got a brand new biome with the mushroom biome. I think it's really cool, definitely very unique for Fortnite. Reality Falls is the main POI in that area, and I think that's where it's kind of weak. I feel like this POI is good, but it just doesn't have like a lot going for it. There's not really many buildings, the loot's not really that great, but I will say the terrain is really cool. It's definitely very pretty looking. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just one that I kind of need to get used to a bit more, but it's definitely my least favorite out of the new POIs that we have. Next up, we have the new and improved Greasy Grove. In my opinion, this is much better than the original Greasy because it makes it a bit more interesting than just your standard neighborhood POI. I'm kind of surprised they didn't really change the name at all though, because it is quite different than it was before. You kind of got the mushroom biome thing invading the POI, kind of breaking a bunch of the buildings and separating some of the buildings. I think it's really cool. It adds a bit more interesting terrain, and like just all the mushrooms around are just fun platforms to kind of fight on and stuff. I think it's just really cool. But my favorite map changes so far are actually the changes that they've been making to Loot Lake and Command Cavern. Rave Cave is by far my favorite new POI because it brings back the vibes of Chapter 2 Season 3, my favorite season of all time. I love summer nostalgia vibes, and this just checks all those boxes. You even have like an amazing roller coaster that you can go around. It's just honestly incredible. I love it so much, and I'm so glad that they're kind of bringing these vibes back from Chapter 2 Season 3 because it's something I've really missed since then, and since this is a summer season after all, it really does fit. And the area by Loot Lake is just perfect. It's just a small little landmark with a good amount of loot, and it's just a lot of fun. You can like ride sharks around it and everything. It's really great, and it's probably my new favorite spot on the map, next to Rave Cave, of course. But overall, the map changes are probably the strongest part of this season in my opinion. Just the way that the theme and the aesthetic works with the map changes, I think is just perfect, and it sets up amazing summer vibes for the season, and I'm sure we're going to see a really cool summer event later down the line. So in terms of gameplay, we got the ballers back, which is pretty cool, but they do run on fuel, and I feel like they're kind of hard to find. I haven't been very lucky with finding them, even going places like Rave Cave where they're supposed to be. I haven't really had a chance to use them very much. You can also use other mobility things such as riding animals, which I think is really cool, definitely very long overdue. It does seem like it was a feature that was meant to be added ages ago, and they kind of just threw it in this season since they finally got it working, I guess. I don't know why it took them so long, but I'm glad it is here, and it definitely makes the animals more interesting. I feel like the animals kind of didn't really have a point before, but now that you can ride them, it definitely makes them have a place within the game. You also got this thing called Storm Sickness, which I actually haven't had a chance to experience, but apparently the longer you're in the storm, the more it's gonna damage you. I don't really know why they're doing this now though. I don't think there was ever really much of a problem with storm camping recently, but maybe it's something in competitive or something. I have no idea why they're adding it now, but I guess it is cool. Not really any complaints with it. I'm just kind of confused why now they're doing this. And you also have the new weapons, which so far I haven't really used them enough to kind of get an opinion on them. They're really strange, honestly. So you got the two-shot shotgun, which I think is alright. I don't think it's really that good, but again, I haven't really used it enough to kind of get good with it either. I haven't really gotten used to it. You have the designated marksman rifle, or the DMR, which I think has the potential to be really cool, but I think overall it's kind of another weapon which isn't that interesting in my opinion. It kind of just feels like the semi-auto. My favorite is definitely the hammer assault rifle though. It definitely has some recoil to it, but I do definitely like it. It kind of feels a bit more standard. It feels a bit more like the standard AR, though I still don't understand why we couldn't just have the standard AR back in the loot pool. And in terms of the general loot pool right now, I think it is definitely better than last season, but I think it is missing some interesting things. I personally would love to see the new heavy return. I think something like that would be really cool, but they did keep a lot of good things from last season, such as the striker burst rifle. I think that's really important to keep in the loot pool. And honestly, I think the charged shotgun would fit pretty well in this loot pool, so I think that would be cool to add later down the line if they choose to do so. But yeah, in terms of new weapons and loot, I'm kind of mixed on it. I think overall it's not really anything too exciting, but I am glad that they're adding all these weapons to the game. It is really cool to see 3 brand new weapons on the launch of a brand new season. Definitely mixes things up a bit, keeps things fresh, and I think it is definitely really cool. I just kind of wish these weapons were a bit better. But again, I haven't had enough experience with them to really tell how good they are. Then you have the brand new bountiful harvest feature with the reality seeds and everything, and I think this is alright. It's kind of just another thing with the tents, where it's like something that I don't think I'll use very much. I don't know, it's just these features that kind of expect you to kind of do all these things in a match to kind of prepare for future matches, which seems kind of weird. You have to wait so long to get the good items, and at that point it's not really worth it because there's a chance that you might get those items finally and then just end up dying and losing them immediately. But yeah, it is an interesting feature and I definitely enjoy it. It's just not something that I think I'm gonna use too much. And then finally, I think the Battle Pass is probably one of the strongest we have seen in a long time. I feel like a lot of Battle Passes recently haven't really been this great, but I think this is definitely a standout Battle Pass. There's just not a single skin in this Battle Pass that I dislike. They're all really, really good. And while I wish we got some more summer-themed cosmetics, I think the actual aesthetic of like the vibe theme fits really well, and I think it just looks really cool for a lot of these skins. But yeah, overall, I think the map changes and aesthetics are the best part of the season, though the gameplay isn't as exciting or different as I was kind of hoping it to be. I feel like the game feels more or less kind of similar to last season without any major changes other than removing a bunch of things from last season like the tanks and stuff, which I definitely don't mind. But I think that this is definitely one of the strongest seasons that we have seen in a very long time, and I think it has a lot of potential. I'm just not fully sold on it yet. But now I switch the conversation over to you guys. What do you guys think about this season? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys did end up enjoying this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new because I make videos like this all the time, and you can also use my supporter code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop, #ad, or if you want to buy the brand new Battle Pass. Thank you guys so much for watching, have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.